Hello everybody, welcome to part 4 of our How to Pick Up Chicks skit. Now if you're watching this, you've already done your first bit of homework, which is to say, seeing what guys who are successful with women are wearing, and how they're dressing, and how they got their hairstyle, and all that stuff. You've already gone out and tried the body language postures that I gave you to make people think that you're relaxed and comfortable and in control. And you've already started practicing attaching yourself to groups and then breaking contact peacefully and then being able to come back to the group. Making friends, in short, even if they're one serving friend, or what was it called in Fight Club? Single serving friends. Even if they're just a single serving friend who you're using just this one time to get social acceptance and be socially proven. But you gotta know how to do that. Now today, let's go a little bit into peacocking. At this point, you have done everything necessary to make every woman in the place, because they got good peripheral vision. They notice that shit. They might not be able to hear what's going on, but they see it, they notice it. Now it's time to start giving the woman a reason to walk up to you and say, "What's this?" When a woman does that, she's not asking you, "What the fuck is this?" She's saying, "I'm interested in you and I want to communicate. Let's talk." That's what she's saying. Now, take me, for example. You got this thing right here. I was shot in the army. This really makes it obvious that there's something with my arm. And they'll notice it, and they'll walk up and they're like, "What the hell's that?" You obviously can't do that because you didn't get shot and have an old, head-shaped, alien-looking fucking scar on your goddamn arm. But, take the mystery method. Mystery. He'll wear a fucking stylish top hat. He'll paint his fingernails black. A lot of guys, you'll see them dressed like me, and they'll wear a chain. And girls will walk up to it, and they'll be like, "I really like your," they'll walk up to it, and they'll think, "I really like that." Don't wear something that's tight around the collar. Like, I don't have anything here to show you, but don't wear something that's tight around the collar, because it's harder to see. And it's one of those things where they can only see it when you're facing them and you give them your body language. That's more advanced stuff. I use it sometimes, but you're going to want something that hangs out so that as you're walking around, they can see it, and it needs to look interesting. Basically, all you're doing is giving them an excuse to walk up and talk to you without having them say, "I'm desperate, and this is going to go the wrong." You don't want. It's always the man's fault, all right? No matter what happens, it's always the man's fault. Remember that. That's your mantra. Whose fault is it? Come on, say it. That's right, it's always the man's fault. All the girls are going, "Yep, it's always the man's fault." You guys gotta remember that. So you gotta wear things in a way that she can walk up to you and it's your fault. Plausible deniability. She was just interested in this trinket. Well, when she goes back to her friends, she can't say, "Well, I could see that he had a massive fucking cock in his pants, so I walked up to him." That's not gonna work. Her friends are gonna think she's a slut. She needs to be able to walk up to you and say, "Well, he had an interesting necklace. I'd never seen anything like that before, and I wanted to ask him about it." That's okay. So now she has a legitimate reason to walk up to you. It's your fault. Whether the things go good or bad, it's still your fault. Remember, she's hardwired. She has to respond certain ways to certain stimulus. If she loses interest and walks away, you did something wrong. But outside of that, now you can add some peacocking to your game. So get yourself a nice long necklace, or if it's cold out, get yourself a nice jacket. Because I've had girls straight up, "Oh wow, this is a sexy jacket." Because it was straight black, solid leather, it was a $100 jacket. Good craftsmanship. They could tell that stuff. They can look at it and go like, "That's good stuff." So if you're in some place in the north, get a nice jacket. If you're with an MC, a motorcycle club, well, if you're with a motorcycle club, you probably don't have a problem picking up chicks anyways, because girls, the motorcycle is peacocking. It's loud, it's obnoxious, and to a girl it's like a 20,000 cc vibrator. They love to get on a fucking motorcycle. The faster you go, the wetter they get. But another story for another time. So, your homework tonight is to further refine your wardrobe. Look at the things around you that you can use, like, this is a story. I'm ex-military. I don't need to tell them I was in the military. But they see this, what's this all about? Oh, I used to be in the army, I got shot, and it left a little oval shaped thing on, it left a little alien looking thing on my arm there. So, where'd that girl go? Some girl got drunk and drew an alien face on my goddamn, oh, it was a different bar, I'm sorry. Different bar, crazy drunk, I was shooting the shit with a girl, and she drew a little alien face thing on mine, and we shot the shit. But she had to keep doing her DJ thing, so I'll let her do that, and I wanted off out here. Complete and utter lie. I drew that on there myself. Some chick didn't. But some chick drew it on me. It was a DJ thing, which, just some girl. I would obviously have a better story than that. I'd be like, oh, well, I was over at this club over here. I was at the Totem. And I was shooting the shit with this one chick, and we were talking about how I was in the army, and she's all like, that looks like a fucking alien head. Do you believe in aliens? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, hold on just a second. And she said something in French to the bartender, because I don't speak French, but she did. Because I was in France at the time that this thing first happened. Now you're telling them that, oh, you travel, but we'll get back to that later. So yeah, the French people were talking, and she came back and she drew a little freaking thingamajigger on me. Now if I'm not in France, I can't tell, yeah, they were speaking in France. But if I'm in France, or if I'm in another country where there's multiple languages spoken, I can use that. And then they're like, oh, so you're visiting here. I mean, there are so many different ways that you can build stories off of your peacocking that I can't go over it all here. It's impossible. But you're already getting glimpses of how you can straight make up a complete bullshit story where the general gist of it was another hot chick was shooting the shit with you and having a good time. And she drew some stuff on you. And then she had to go back to attending bar, or being the DJ, or doing whatever the hell she was doing. And, I had things to do, so I wanted off. That's simple. Now you have been socially proven by another woman. Actually, that goes beyond social proofing. At this point, you were pre-selected by another woman. Another woman was having fun with you, which means you're okay. That flips another switch. That makes them more attractive to you. So, don't just pick stuff to peacock with. If you got nothing, then you got nothing, and just do some basic peacocking. But, what do you do for a living? What are your interests? What are your likes? You can peacock with that. Say you're a book reader. Get a necklace and have a little book on there, and they'll be like, what the hell's with that? Have a little book with a little stone on it or something like that. And they'll be like, I guess you read books? Yeah, I read books. Say you're a fantasy fan or something like that. Get that ring from Lord of the Rings and get Frodo's ring. There's nothing wrong with that. It gives them something to walk up and ask you questions about. Get a loud car like this asshole has over here. Because while you're tinkering with it, if they're interested in you, they'll walk up and be like, God damn, what's wrong with your car? Anything and everything that you can use to give a woman a legitimate reason to walk up and interact with you, if she's interested in you, can be used to peacock. Now don't be like Flava Flav. He gets away with what he's doing because he's made a lifestyle out of it where it's like it's making him his money. That isn't peacocking. That is business. That's making him money. Completely different fucking animal. Don't do that. But, once again, you have your homework. You have a lot with this homework. I'm going to give you a couple of days because you need to sit down and think about what am I going to get to peacock with? What am I going to get that will give a woman a legitimate reason to ask me a question and lead into I can give her a story. We'll go into stories next time, and then you can refine your stuff even further there. So, you got your homework. Run with it, guys. I'll catch you later.